Welcome. Before a single guest ever walks through the door, and long before the first meal is even served, the real work has to be done. The foundation of a successful food and beverage operation has to be built, and it has to be built right. Today, we're going to draft that essential blueprint together, focusing on the core structures that really determine success or failure. Hello, everyone. As a hotel AI expert with years of experience in modern hospitality operations, I'm thrilled to be your guide on this journey. I want to extend a very special welcome to all the students from the Europe Hotel School. We're here to support your professional growth, so let's get started and build your expertise right from the ground up. Okay, let's dive right in. To really get this, I want you to shift your mindset a bit. Don't think of yourself as just a manager. For today, you're an architect, because that's exactly what we're doing. We are drafting the absolute non-negotiable blueprint for any successful F&B operation, and we're starting with the most critical foundational pieces. So our first section is what I call the skeletal framework. This is your organizational structure. And believe me, this is the absolute core of your business. If you get this part wrong, everything, and I mean everything, you try to build on top of it is just going to be unstable. So what do we actually mean by an organizational structure? Well, think of it as the documented framework that clearly defines who reports to whom, what each and every role is responsible for, and this is so critical, how your team members can actually grow and advance within the company. Without it, you've got chaos. But with it, you have clarity and you have direction. Let's map out what a typical hierarchy looks like. It all starts at the top with the director of F&B, the person who's setting the entire strategy. From there, responsibility flows down into those key operational areas. You've got culinary, which is led by the executive chef. You've got service, which falls under your restaurant managers. And of course, the beverage program. And tying it all together are those absolutely essential support functions, like stewarding and the F&B controller, who keep the entire machine running smoothly day in and day out. Now, here's a crucial point. This structure is not one size fits all, not at all. A big hotel with multiple outlets, a fine dining spot, a casual lounge, a huge banqueting operation, that needs a flatter, more specialized structure just to manage all that complexity. On the other hand, a single standalone restaurant can get away with something much more streamlined. The key is to customize the blueprint to fit the specific needs of your operation. And this is why it matters on a human level. This isn't just about spreadsheets and efficiency. A well-defined structure provides real clarity. Sure, it prevents confusion and people tripping over each other's toes. But more importantly, it shows every single employee a clear, viable path for advancement. It gives them a future to actually strive for. All right, so with the skeleton in place, it's time to add the muscle. We're moving from that broad structure to the specifics of each role with our next blueprint piece, the job description. So let me ask you a question. What is it that transforms a simple, boring task list into a truly foundational document? How do you create something that actually guides your recruitment, your training, and your performance management right from day one? Well, the answer lies in three absolutely key components. First up, the role summary. This defines the why, the position's primary purpose. Next, you've got the essential duties, which list the what, those specific, measurable standards they're going to be held to. And finally, the qualifications section. This ensures your recruitment is super targeted, so you're attracting the right kind of talent right from the get-go. Just look at this comparison. It shows you the real power of being specific. Assists with kitchen tasks. I mean, that's so vague it's basically useless. But responsible for daily HACCP checks, your critical food safety protocols, and temperature logs, now that is a specific essential duty. It sets a crystal clear expectation for both performance and safety. All right, we've got our structure and we've got our roles defined. Now we have to tackle the really crucial financial component, striking that perfect balance with our wage scale. And let me tell you, this is an incredibly delicate balancing act. If your wages are too low, you're going to be stuck in this constant, really costly cycle of high turnover and endless retraining. But if they're too high, you're literally compromising your profitability before you've even served a single customer. Neither of those is a recipe for success. So what's the answer? Well, the most crucial point is this. You don't guess. The solution has to be professional and data-driven.
We're talking about a thorough compensation study. This means you're analyzing competitor wages, you're looking at the local cost of living, you're doing the work to benchmark your positions properly against the market.
And here's kind of how that data comes together visually. You take a hard look at the local market average, you identify what your key direct competitors are paying for similar roles, and then you strategically position your salary. The goal here is simple. Be competitive enough to attract and keep top talent, but without putting your whole financial model at risk. And I really want to emphasize this for all of you listening. This type of robust financial analysis, this management discipline, it isn't just a good idea, it's an absolute cornerstone of the curriculum at the Europe Hotel School London. It's what prepares you for the very real financial responsibilities you're going to face as leaders in this industry.
So let's bring it all together now in our final section. After all this foundational work, what is that key output you absolutely must have in hand before you even think about hiring? We call it the pre-recruitment deliverable. This one deliverable is really the synthesis of everything we've just built. It's your finalized organizational structure, it's the comprehensive job descriptions for every single role, and it's your approved, fully benchmarked wage scales. Put them together and you have your complete operational blueprint. And please don't think of this as just more paperwork. This blueprint is your key to two incredibly critical outcomes. First, absolute budget accuracy when it comes to your labor costs. And second, the solid foundation you need for a smooth, targeted, and successful recruitment launch.
So, your blueprint is now complete. You have the structure, you have the roles, and you have the financial plan. The final question, the one that will ultimately define your success as a leader, is this: how are you going to bring it to life?